So I'm super excited tonight. You know, doTERRA comes out with new oils pretty much every year at convention. And sometimes we just go, oh, that's cool. And then we, throughout the year, kind of hear what they are and what they're for, right? So I thought, let's just make sure that everybody knows what they are and what they're for, and dive deep and understand them, because we don't want to ever have an oil that we don't even know what it's used for. And you might go, oh, this is Petitgrain. And they go, oh, what's it for? And you're like, I have no idea. It's new, right? And I've said that. This is why something that came to mind for me. So Spikenard and Petitgrain are the two that we are going to talk about. So obviously these statements have not been evaluated by Food and Drug Administration. They're not intended to prevent, treat, or cure disease. And again, your lifestyle prevents disease, your doctor treats ailments and fixes broken parts, and your body cures disease itself, okay? Okay, Petitgrain, Citrus aurantium, I love that. So in terms of sourcing, Petitgrain is steam distilled from the leaves and twigs of the bitter orange tree. Now, you've probably heard people talk about neroli oil and bitter orange oil. So the way to distinguish this is that, again, Petitgrain is steam distilled from the leaves and twigs. Neroli is distilled from the blossoms. And bitter orange oil is actually cold pressed from the rinds of the fruit itself. So they are three distinct oils, even if they have somewhat common properties, if that makes sense. In terms of sourcing, we get our Petitgrain from Paraguay, and obviously with our co-impact sourcing, we support needed rural community development projects, provide diversified incomes for small-scale farmers. And the big thing in Paraguay is that what we're doing is providing a viable alternative to cutting the land down. So we're helping to protect the rainforest in eastern Paraguay, which is really, really cool, because there's been a lot of issues with trying to clear cut land and things like that. So I love that doTERRA is helping to protect the rainforest down in Paraguay through our co-impact sourcing projects. So that's really cool. So historically, Petitgrain has been used for cleaning purposes internally to help support healthy immune system and healthy nervous system function. Originally, it was actually extracted from these bitter oranges, but when they were still unripe, they were still green and they were tiny. And so it says, hence the French term petite grain, meaning small grain. So when they were really small and unripe, that's when they were getting this oil from. But what was happening was they were then they weren't getting enough ripe oil ripe oranges, because everyone was taking the unripe to make this oil. So they started extracting it from the leaves and twigs, but it still kept its name. So it's widely used in the perfume industry, giving body sprays, fragrances, lotions, and colognes a fresh, herbaceous note that is popular among both women and men. So both of these oils are actually widely used in fragrances. So chemical constituents and the chemical constituents and their benefits, linalool acetate, linalool, and alpha terpineol. And you can see some of the benefits on the right. And I got a lot of this information from doTERRA, and I got a lot of it from Aromatools' blog, which I'll give you guys the link to that. It was really, really helpful. So the benefits of these chemical constituents are that they are antibacterial, anti-infectious, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antiseptic, antispasmodic, deodorant, and a stimulant for digestive and nervous systems. And I highlighted, or I put in bold, the linalool acetate. That is actually the common chemical constituent that Petitgrain shares with lavender. And so a lot of people may have trouble with lavender. Some people don't like the smell. Some people don't like some people have reactions to it. You're actually going to get very similar benefits and properties out of Petitgrain that you're going to get out of lavender because of that linalool acetate. So that's an important thing to know. It's kind of a sister oil. It's not the exact same thing, but you will get some similar benefits, especially in terms of it helps with insomnia. So it will help with sleep. That linalool acetate constituent will help with sleep, helps with depression and things like that. It's very calming. So it's nice to know that we have an alternative to lavender if necessary. But it has so many other benefits as well because of its other chemical constituents. I love this. I don't know if you guys can see. It talks about greasy and oily hair right in the middle of that image. It literally said you can just put it with like your hair serum, or you can put it in your shampoo and it helps to like break down grease in your hair. I was like, that is so cool. Even with skin, it said you could help break down the grease in your skin. I was like, that is so cool. So, okay. So primary benefits of Petitgrain: it's commonly used for depression, focus, greasy, oily hair, stress, and uplifting one's mood. It may also help with acne, dyspepsia, fatigue, flatulence, greasy hair, I said that already, insomnia, and excessive perspiration. So it helps to support cardiovascular function, antioxidant support. We talked last week about antioxidants and how important they are. It may also support healthy immune function and help to promote restful sleep. So there's that commonality with the lavender. So very beneficial to us in that sense. So some suggested uses. If you're going to diffuse or you're going to use it aromatically, you can put a couple of drops into your diffuser. It blends well with other citrus oils or things like cassia, cinnamon, eucalyptus, geranium, lemongrass. You can add a few drops to your pillow, and you can use it with maybe lavender or bergamot or even a ylang-ylang to your pillow or to your bedding for those aromatic benefits of breathing them in. This is safe to use internally, so you can dilute a drop in 4 ounces of liquid. You can take it internally to ease feelings of tension and help calm the nervous system and promote restful sleep. Or you can just add it to water or juice, because it is, even though it is from a citrus, it is from the leaves and twigs. So don't think that you're going to get like straight up like lemon oil here or wild orange oil. It is a little bit different. But you can add it to your water or juice and drink it, and it will help from the inside out support cardiovascular, immune, nervous, and digestive systems with healthy function. And then topically, you can add it to desired areas. Remember, it talked about greasy, oily hair and things like that. Or just apply it to the bottom of your feet to promote calm and restful sleep. And then, as with any oil, when we use it topically, if you have any kind of skin sensitivity, you're going to want to dilute with a carrier oil. The other thing to know is, because it is a citrus, now it is not diluted, or it's not the one cold pressed from the rind, so you don't get as much of the problem as you do with the other citrus oils. But be very cautious with skin sensitivity when you go outside. So if you're going to apply this, say, in a lotion all over your skin, and then you go outside, you could have some photosensitivity to the sun. The link below is a link to Aromatools blog, which I really enjoy. Obviously, on the doTERRA website, there's a ton of information, but on the Aromatools blog, I love it because it really gives you a good breakdown of what it was for in the past. And Aromatools doesn't have to be compliant because they're not talking about a specific brand. So you do get a little bit more information. And again, we're just talking about the oil itself and the chemical constituents that are in it and what it can do for you. Questions about Petitgrain and how we use it and where we got it from and what it's good for? Nobody?
Where did you say it came from?
Paraguay.
Paraguay.
And the co-impact benefits in Paraguay is we're helping to save the rainforest. Yay. Love it. Cool. So let's talk about spikenard. Now, I love spikenard, and you guys are going to hear about this again. But spikenard, I'm not even going to try to say the chemical name of it, but we get it from the roots of the spikenard plant, which is named for spike-shaped rhizomes on the outside of it. So it's spiky, so they call it spikenard. It is a flowering plant of the valerian family, which is native to the Himalayas. So we do get this from near the Himalayan mountains, and we get it from Nepal specifically. We have done so much in Nepal, both with our spikenard growers as well as our wintergreen growers. They had a really devastating earthquake last year, and doTERRA and the Co-Impact Sourcing Initiative and the Healing Hands Foundation have done wonders and amazing things in Nepal. We've built schools, we've rebuilt schools after the earthquake, and it's really an incredible initiative that they've got going on over there in Nepal. Just look anything up. It talks a lot about wintergreen because that's that was a new thing this year as well, was we shifted our sourcing of wintergreen. But definitely check out the things that doTERRA is doing in Nepal because it's really, really cool. So historically, Spikenard was highly prized in the Middle East during the time of Christ, and it's referred to several times in the Bible. It was used in the preparation of nardinum. Again, remember, it's a spiky version of the nard plant. And it was used in a preparation called kaifi with other oils. And I found a reference that said that kaifi was used to purify the temple and was also made into a drink that was taken as a remedy for asthma, which is really cool. Now, one of the things that I want to point out, not only that it has purification properties, but I love that, you know, we've talked about emotions before and how oils are used instinctively when it comes to emotions. And if you have a protective blend, it can protect you emotionally. As soon as I read that, and I read it 5 times already, but I read it just now and said, purify the temple. And I just thought of ourselves and our bodies and how sometimes we just need to purify our temple, right? Because our bodies are a temple of God, and sometimes we just need to purify that. I thought that was really cool. So I love the idea of this oil. I have not been a huge fan of its scent, but I have really started to appreciate it a lot more now that I've looked up more information about it. And that's one thing I love about education is your eyes are kind of opened to the things that you can learn and the things that you can use these things for. And stick around because next week we're going to talk about oils of the Bible. So we're going to talk about this a little bit more next week, and I'm super excited. Next Sunday is Palm Sunday, so I figured that was a perfect time to talk about the oils of the Bible. And then Easter we will take off because it's Easter. So I'm excited about next week and talking about oils of the Bible. So yay. So chemical constituents, let me close this. Chemical constituents of spikenard. The constituent is called jatamanson. It's the Nardostachys jatamansi. This is used actually a lot proliferatively in India. So if you look up this chemical constituent or this oil, you are going to hear a lot about it in Indian culture. So that's pretty cool. So the properties of the chemical constituents of spikenard is that it's antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, deodorant. It's a skin tonic, and then it's relaxing for the digestive and nervous systems. And I thought that was so cool because remember that Petitgrain said it was a stimulant for digestive and nervous systems, and spikenard is relaxing, so they kind of have opposite effects. So I thought it was kind of cool that they went together. So you can see quite a few things on the list here for spikenard in terms of what it's good for. Things like allergies, neurological diseases, staph infections. If anybody saw my Facebook today, I posted a link about a woman who got a staph infection. She got a strep infection. She got strep, and she couldn't afford to go to the doctor, and so she just waited and ended up losing her fingers and things because it got so bad and she got septic. And the only thing I could think was, oh my gosh, if only she had essential oils. And I felt so bad because I felt like I was making light of her situation. But it's so true that these oils have been proven scientifically to help our bodies fight off those types of infections. So I love that. So these are your chemical constituents and their basic benefits. So again, primary benefits: aging, skin allergies, candida, flatulent indigestion. I thought that was really fun because it helps to relax. So if you have so much indigestion that you're going too much bubbles, then it helps to relax everything. Insomnia, menstrual difficulties, nausea, staph infections, wounds that won't heal, etc. Again, commonly used in perfumes and relaxing massage oils. It has like a woody, musty kind of a scent. So like I said, I haven't really liked the smell of this up until now, but I'm really starting to appreciate it a lot more, and I'm actually excited to pull it out and enjoy a little bit of that tonight. Promotes feelings of calmness and relaxation, and is frequently used in aromatherapy and meditation for its grounding properties. Now remember, we always talk about how roots and tree bark and things like that really are centering and grounding. So this is a root, so it has grounding properties, right? And it's purifying to the skin, promotes clean, healthy skin. So again, helps to purify your temple, right? So suggested uses: diffuse a few drops in the diffuser of your choice, again, for those calming properties, or you can apply it to the back of your neck or to your temples and inhale the aroma from there. Topically, you can create your own fragrance. You can combine it with any of those oils that it recommends, or you can combine it with other calming oils like lavender, Roma chamomile, marjoram ylang ylang, and apply it to the bottom of your feet to promote restful sleep. But actually, the Aroma Tools blog gives you a couple different blend rollerball blend ideas of things like that. Combine it with a hydrating cream to help soften and smooth the skin, or you can add some to your favorite cleanser to help, again, purify your temple. I love that. And remember always, again, to dilute with a carrier oil to help minimize any skin sensitivity. And this one is not recommended for internal use. So please do not ingest this oil. Again, remember that you can look at the outside of your bottle to determine which oils are safe to ingest and which ones are not. So make sure that you are paying attention to whether or not your bottle has a supplement facts label. If it does, it is safe to ingest. And again, there is your link for the Aroma Tools blog for Spikenard, which is awesome. So there's your 2 oils. These are our 2 new oils. I'm so excited to really, now that I have a little bit more of an appreciation for what they're good for, I'm excited to, start really using them a little bit more. So Petitgrain retails for $34.66. It wholesales for $26, and it is a 15 ml vial. Spikenard is a little bit more of a precious oil, like we talked about. It's from the Bible, and it has like a spicy, woody, musty smell, and it comes in a 5 ml. It retails for $66, and it wholesales for $49.50. So both really affordable, especially if you are on a wholesale account. And both really beneficial and great oils to add to your repertoire, which is my fancy word that I'm using a lot today. Okay, cool. What questions do you guys have about these 2 oils? I told you I'd be a little bit quick tonight. I just wanted you guys to have a good understanding since they're new and they're not something we've even, really heard of before. What do y'all think?
My question is, if you were going to use this spikenard to cleanse the temple, using that metaphorically, if you were going to use that on your body to do so, how would you use that?
In terms of if you're talking about like physical cleansing and physical appearance, I would add it to either a facial cleanser or facial moisturizer for your face, or you could add it to an unscented lotion or even a carrier oil and just apply it to your skin. If you're talking about more of an internal kind of overall cleanse my temple, anytime you put something on the bottom of your feet, you're going to get it used internally. So you're going to have that effect throughout where it kind of helps your body to cleanse itself of toxins. But if you're talking about skin, if it's the face, I would apply it to like your facial moisturizer. And again, just put some of your moisturizer in the palm of your hand and put a drop of the spikenard in it. You don't need much. And then moisturize your face. Or if you're talking about your body, unscented lotion or a carrier oil, like fractionated coconut oil, something that's non-greasy once it's applied. And just apply it like your arms, legs, stomach, wherever you want to apply it. So it's a skin tonic. So it's going to help to kind of tone and help clear out the skin. So it's not a physical, like a soap type of a cleanser. That's not what I mean when I say clean, purify the temple. I mean like detoxify type of a thing.
Okay.
Good question. What about you, Beth? What do you think?
I've used both of them. I looked up, because I always love my Modern Essentials app, and one of them, I can't remember which one, I think it was a spikenard, said it was good for my husband's back. So we tried it once. It really does. We tried it once with a couple different, it was one of our experiments. And it seemed to work all right.
Good. I love experimenting. Experimenting with oils is fun because everyone's body chemistry is different. So you don't know how your body is going to react to something until you actually get a chance to try it, and try it for different things too, right? Because all these oils have different chemical constituents. They have hundreds of different compounds that can all have different benefits. And so it might be that lavender does not help you sleep at all, but you add a drop of Petitgrain to your pillow and you're like out like a light, right? So I love the fact that we can kind of almost experiment with different oils that have different properties and kind of figure out what works best for us and also what works best for certain things. I know for me, there are people who can take a drop of Serenity when they just need to calm down a little bit. If I put a drop of Serenity on my chest and smell it, I'm like out cold in 5 minutes, right? Like I'm asleep. So I know that that's how it affects me. And I always tell people, I would just see how it affects you before you like put a drop of Serenity on it and get in the car and drive, right? Because like it puts me to sleep and I love it for that reason. So I love that we kind of get to play around and experiment a little bit with the different oils that have different properties and see what works. It's fun.
So I have another question.
Yeah.
So if it's a skin tonic and it helps with the skin, would that be something to use for, say, like a breakout, like a non-normal breakout, something your body's reacting to?
Yes. So skin allergies, rashes, things like that. Let me close this so you guys can see it. So any kind of rashes, etc. It will help with acne. I feel like I read on the Aromatools blog, actually, I think it was Petitgrain that said acne on the Aromatools blog, but now I can't remember. One of the two of these actually talked about acne because it was talking about the oiliness, and I think it might have been both, truthfully. So yes, you can absolutely apply it to any kind of breakout. And check out those blogs, the Aromatools blogs, because it did, one or both of them actually did specifically mention acne. I just can't remember which one.
I think when you went back, I think I saw Petitgrain, but grain which said acne on it.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the one that actually said acne, but they both have skin cleansing properties.
Okay.
Awesome. So, thank you guys so much. I'm gonna stop the recording, but I hope that you guys learned things. I love learning new things.